I remember the exact moment my world cracked, the way my heart clenched, the way my breath caught in my throat. My fingers trembled as I stared at my empty ring finger, the realization dawning like a slow burning fire. My wedding ring was gone. At first, I thought I had misplaced it. I tore through drawers, upturned cushions, even checked the bathroom sink, convincing myself that I must have left it somewhere. But deep down, a nagging voice whispered the truth. And when I finally asked my mother-in-law, Maria, her response sent a chill down my spine. "Oh, that old thing?" she scoffed, arms crossed over her chest. "I sold it. You don't deserve it anyway." My vision blurred with rage. My hands curled into fists. She had sold my wedding ring. The very ring my husband, Daniel, had slipped onto my finger with a promise of forever. The ring that symbolized our love, our bond. And she had sold it like it was some worthless trinket. I wanted to scream, to demand answer, but all I could do was stand there, stunned, my pulse roaring in my ears. She smirked, pleased with my shock. "Honestly, you should be thanking me. That ring was too good for you." The worst part? Daniel didn't even defend me. He just sighed, running a hand down his face. "Mom, you shouldn't have done that," he muttered, but his voice lacked any real anger. I stared at him, my heart sinking further. "That's all you have to say?" His eyes met mine, full of hesitation, of guilt, but there was no outrage, no fire, no urgency to fix what his mother had done. That's when I knew I was on my own. And if no one was going to fight for me, I'd fight for myself. Maria had hated me from the beginning. The first time we met, she barely glanced at me before turning to Daniel and saying, "She's not what I expected." Her disappointment was thick, like I had already failed some invisible test. She never thought I was good enough. She critiqued everything, the way I dressed, the way I spoke, the way I cooked. If I wore something elegant, I was showing off. If I wore something simple, I was not making an effort. If I cooked, it was too salty. If I didn't, I was lazy. She never missed a chance to remind me that Daniel could have done better. And Daniel? He was the kind of man who avoided conflict, who let his mother's words roll off his back like they meant nothing. But to me, they weren't nothing. They were knives, each one cutting deeper than the last. I tolerated it for his sake, swallowed my pride, bit my tongue. I convinced myself that if I just tried harder, maybe she would finally accept me. But stealing my wedding ring? Selling it like I was nothing? That was the final straw. She had crossed a line, and I was about to show her exactly why she had underestimated me. I didn't confront her, not right away. No, I had something better in mind. Instead, I played the part she expected. I let her believe she had won, that I was weak, defeated. I watched as she basked in her victory, smug and self-assured. But behind the scenes, I was planning. And when I struck, it would be the last thing she ever expected. Over the next few days, I carefully pieced together my plan. Maria had made one fatal mistake. She assumed I was powerless. She assumed I would cry, sulk, and move on like I always had. But this time, I wasn't going to sit back and take it. I started by finding out where she sold my ring. It wasn't hard. Maria wasn't exactly subtle. I overheard her bragging on the phone to one of her friends, gloating about how she finally put me in my place. My stomach twisted with fury, but I kept my face neutral. "She got a good price for it," she said, laughing. Honestly, I don't know why Daniel wasted money on that girl in the first place. I clenched my fists so tightly that my nails dug into my palms, but I didn't let her see my anger. No, I needed her to keep thinking she had won. Once she left the house, I did some digging. I called every jewelry store in town, asking about a platinum wedding ring with a custom engraving inside, our initials intertwined. After several calls, I found it. The shop owner remembered the ring well. "It was beautiful," he said, "but I already sold it." My heart sank. "Do you know who bought it?" I asked, gripping the phone. Turns out he did. A wealthy businessman had purchased it for his fiancée. He had no idea it was stolen, of course. I thanked him and got the buyer's contact information. Now I had a choice. I could let it go, accept my loss, or I could take back what was mine. And I knew exactly which option I was choosing. The next day, I arranged to meet the man who had my ring. I explained everything, the theft, the betrayal, how much that ring meant to me. To my surprise, he was understanding. "I wouldn't want to keep something that carries that kind of pain," he said. But there was a catch. "I already proposed with," he admitted. "My fiancée loves it." I swallowed hard, trying not to let disappointment show. "I understand," I said, forcing a smile. Then he surprised me. "But I'll make you a deal." I raised an eyebrow. "I'll buy another ring for my fiancée," he said. "But I want to see the woman who took yours face the consequences." A slow smile spread across my lips. "Oh," I said, "you're going to love what I have planned." Maria had always been obsessed with appearances. She loved flaunting her wealth, her perfect family. But most of all, she loved her social standing. She thrived on being respected in her elite circle. So I decided to take that away from her. I made a few calls, some strategic invitations, and then I waited. The night of Maria's charity gala, the biggest event she hosted every year, I arrived looking my best. A sleek black dress, confidence radiating from every step. She didn't expect me to show up. In fact, she looked downright furious when she saw me. "What are you doing here?" she hissed, forcing a smile for the guests. I leaned in, my voice low and sweet. "Oh, I wouldn't miss this for the world." Then, right as the event was in full swing, I stepped onto the stage, took the microphone, and I exposed her. I told the story in front of everyone, the theft, the sale, the cruel word. I kept my voice calm, controlled, but every word was a blade. The audience gasped. Some guests whispered behind their hands. Others looked at Maria in disgust. I turned to her smiling. "I just wanted everyone to know what kind of woman you really are." Maria's face drained of color. Her reputation, her most prized possession, was crumbling right before her eyes. And then, the final blow. The businessman who had my ring stepped forward, holding it up. "This belongs to her," he said, handing it back to me in front of everyone. The room fell into stunned silence. Maria's humiliation was complete. I turned, slipping my ring back onto my finger where it belonged. Then, without another word, I walked away. Later that night, Daniel found me packing my bags. You didn't have to do that," he said weakly. I looked at him, really looked at him. The man who had never defended me, who had let his mother treat me like I was nothing. And for the first time, I felt nothing for him. "I did," I said simply. And then I walked out of his life too, because I finally realized I deserve better. Please subscribe to our channel so you never miss such interesting stories.